welcome to the show. Gather round, listen close. We got George, Brock, and J.A. bringing you the most NFL podcast. It's about to go down. Three amigos ready to run this town. Welcome to the Ball Studio, where the fun begins. George, Brock, and Jay talking NFL with their friends. So grab a drink, sit back, let's dive into the show. The Ball Studio, fam, we're ready to go. Let's go.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. What? Oh, fuck. I thought I cut out then.
Gentlemen.
It's been a long day, boys. It's been a long day. It's been a long week. Shout out, Scotty.
It's Tuesday. What do you mean?
It's been a tough week. George doesn't get the joke. Scotty, we love you, mate.
I also love Scott, but I still don't get the joke.
It's been a big week.
It's been a big week.
Scotty's favourite line on a Monday Arvo. Fuck, it's been a big week.
Does he mean it's been a big weekend?
No, week.
He's
He's one day in, the poor fella.
Shout out to Scott.
Shout out to Scott.
Super sub, Scotty.
Let's get the show on the road. Week 12, the Vault Studio podcast, brought to you by the Sporting Globe, Chernobyl Park. As always, thank you very much, DS.
Shout out.
Sign up to the Patreon, $25 voucher. Multiple winners this year already.
Yeah.
How many we got on the Patreon?
Eight.
Not
Eight. Boys, let's get this going. We've got to crack double figures by the end of the year.
Well,
Come on.
Tommy
please.
said that he'll do it if you clean your room.
Cap.
That's your dad. I'm a bit flat on Tommy. He's a big time listener.
Should just do it.
Yeah, I don't know why he's
Incentivize me to do it.
Hardball.
Yeah.
Brock.
I could just go home and sign up.
Brock, you're a grown man. Come on. Clean your fucking
It's the office. It's just everything on the couch. That's all it is.
Clean it up, bro. Come on.
It needs to be done. Clean it up.
Clean it. Let's go.
Okay, bro. If you haven't heard already, Georgie's back. J.A.'s back. Welcome, boys. Let's get stuck into a big week of football this week.
Huge week of football.
Started in a snow globe.
How good was the snow game? I fucking loved it.
Unreal.
Best.
Unreal. Jameis Winston. I'm ebbs and flows with him. I hate him and I love him at the same time.
I'm going to make a statement about Jameis. Yep. Is there a more lovable guy in the NFL than Jameis Winston? It's impossible to hate him.
His pre-game speech was so dog shit, but then he balled out and just tried his guts out, and you can't hate him.
His effort is on maximum all the time, bro.
Did you see his post-game?
He just loves football.
The touchdown he threw was it was like an NFL films commit
Yeah,
out there.
yeah.
I thought I was in the NFL films.
He's so funny. He's like, the horse is ready for battle, but victory comes from the Lord.
Oh.
I was listening to it going, what the fuck is he talking about, man?
Like,
but somehow it makes sense.
You can't be you can't call yourself a Cleveland Brown till you've beat the Steelers.
And he goes,
Pre-game.
And his pre-game's walking around. This is my first snow game. He's like a little kid, bro.
He is great. I have a message from Skinny.
His passion is
Skinny's back again. Here we go.
Don't you think it's infectious?
What's his thoughts on the shit Steelers this week?
I messaged Skinny back saying, any sparkling messages for the boys
here we
this
go.
week? Because he'd been very radio silent since Friday morning.
Shock.
I'm not shocked.
He said, I'm a little snowed under this week. Fuck the Browns and the black guy from the Green Mile who plays quarterback for them. It's a good season, though, and completely confident in Tomlin.
Nah, that was a good win. That was a good win from the Browns.
Have they locked up another winning season? They have.
The Steelers?
Yeah,
Steelers
8-3.
have, yeah.
They've locked up another winning season. Oh, they won't.
It's 17 games. They can go 8-9.
Oh,
But they're not going to lose it.
Nah, they're not going to lose.
if they lose out and
They're not
Tomlin
gonna
has
lose
his
6 games.
first one,
Nah, they're not going to lose 6 in a row. There's no way. They're too good. They're too good at home as well.
Yeah, Tomlin's the master of mediocrity, so he'll make sure they get a winning record.
Well, to be fair, they're the 3 seed at the moment, so they're far from mediocre.
That loss was bad, though. That opens the door.
yep.
I don't disagree, but they've still got they've banked wings early, so that's okay. Dropping
Yeah,
a division,
they'll be a playoff
dropping
team.
a division game here or there, is not the end of the world if you've banked wins.
Yeah, the AFC.
It is if you only play two
And
division games.
We've got to talk about Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett had a fucking game.
Oh, he's an amazing player. There's a real chance that Myles Garrett wins Defensive Player of the Year this year.
I think it might be TJ Watts because they're going to win more games.
Yeah, but TJ Watt's
on stats.
numbers haven't been as good.
Yeah.
His numbers haven't been nearly as good.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
what's
spewing
as
Hutchinson.
normal. He's still playing.
Sean
well.
Hutchinson's injured.
Hutchinson was winning it in a landslide. He's still
I'm going to give you that moral victory because he was winning it. And he was still like leaders top 5 in sacks. He hasn't played in 2 months.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. So, on Jameis, yeah, the Browns are just such a hard team to watch. They're not talented at all. They're so bad. Like the Steelers have lost to the Cowboys when they had no players, and the Browns.
Yeah.
That's 2. I don't even know who their other loss is, but that's 2 of their losses.
Yeah, they're both bad.
They're bad. Like if they win those games, then again they probably win games they shouldn't win sometimes too. Because realistically,
Well,
I
they
think,
beat the Ravens a week before without scoring a touchdown. That was
Yeah.
probably a game they shouldn't have won.
like I
so
think the Steelers are
you
in
sub
like,
one for the other and whatever.
they're in Bronco and Chargers category. Like they're good but missing something.
Sure.
Still, that like don't get me wrong, they're going to be a playoff team,
No.
and they're not.
Steelers are a buttoned up, well organized, well coached, well drilled organization. That was if you're going to say was it a good win or a bad loss, that's probably a bad loss for the Steelers.
Oh, 100% a bad loss. But this is what happens, and we'll talk about this more today. But road division games
In division
are really tough.
Always tough. Yes.
Like they're hard, and they know each other so well. There's an extra bit of effort from the other team, especially if they're bad. It
I feel
doesn't.
like Russ struggled in the snow a little bit too. I think as the game went on, I think he was struggling a bit.
Well, I thought
more.
the best players on the weekend, or the best players from the Steelers, were when Justin Fields was in.
Yeah.
And he was running
yes.
the ball. But then again, you're kind of caught because Russell Wilson's a much more prolific passer and he reads the defense better and he can run a more competent offense.
Yeah.
But Fields is so explosive and makes so many plays when he's in the game that it's just, I don't think they've quite got it right yet, the Steelers. I think if they can get it right with the two of them running certain packages and formations, like, don't get me wrong, I don't think the Steelers are going to be an easy beat come playoffs.
So
Whether they win the division or not.
The other two teams was the Colts and the Cowboys in week 4 and 5.
Yeah. Yep.
So that ended a 5-game winning streak for them.
Yep.
So they've been on a run. It's always going to happen, and it will normally happen in division games where you cop that loss.
I just want to talk about. I love Jameis Winston. Like
Yeah,
I just, you know
I
what
do
I wish.
enjoy him.
You know what I wish. I wish he was good and he was this much of a character. It would be unbelievable. To see.
Is there
I
a
wish he was
chance-
as good as. I wish he was as good as like CJ Stroud and be that much of a character. It would be incredible.
He's past like the Darnold and Baker era, hasn't he? He hasn't got like a comeback in his career.
No.
Like the Baker, Darnold, Geno sort of
He's in the Joe Flacco sort of backup situation at the
career
moment.
revival. He's like a good backup. You want him on your team because he can win you a couple of games.
Yeah.
But he'll also
He
lose
still,
you.
he can still be like a starter. Like he's probably a bottom third starter. Let's be fair.
If he's at the Jets, is he starting over Rodgers?
Is he at the Colts? Is he starting over Richardson?
Well, no, because the Colts have indicated that they want Richardson in. So no.
But is he a better quarterback than Richardson?
Well, he's probably going to win more games.
Maybe he throws a lot of interceptions. He turns the ball over a lot.
So does Richardson, bro.
Oh, he's been unlucky. Who'd they lose to on the weekend? The Colts. He was a bit unlucky.
The Colts lost to the Lions.
The Lions.
Just.
The Lions are very good, but like Richardson played fairly well in
Very
that game.
good.
Yeah.
His
Since
team
his
let him
benching,
down.
he's been much better.
Yeah, he has been. But let's not talk about the Lions again. Let's get over to Baker, the ultimate troll job
This was so good.
against the Giants. He gets
In
New York.
New York, yeah.
He gets a few of his guys back. Funnily enough, the offense all of a sudden looks competent.
Yeah, put 30
He's running
points up,
50
yeah.
yards downfield, blocking safeties.
How good was that?
For Irving to get more yards. And then he scores a touchdown, a rushing touchdown, and then does the Danny DeVito in the end zone.
The Tommy Cutlets fucking
The
celebrating.
Tommy DeVito. And he does they asked him in the press conference after, like, oh, did you pre-plan that? He's like, no. What do you mean?
I'm a pretty spontaneous guy.
I was in New York and I know what the New York people want, so I gave them what they want. Like it was nothing. It was but wasn't it making a bit of a mockery of DeVito? He's like, no, it was a tribute to him. It was a tribute to him.
A tribute to
And
a
he's so stern faced.
third string quarterback.
It's just like let's talk about the Giants right now. So tumultuous week for them. They
Terrible
lose
week.
in Germany. They lost last. That was the last week they lost in Germany.
Yeah, they lost in Germany against
So
the
then
Panthers.
they bench Danny Dimes.
Yep.
Their backup is Drew Lock, who has proven he's quite a competent backup.
He
And
won games last year.
He beat the Giants last year at Seattle.
in Seattle. Yeah,
So he's won games before. Instead of going to him at second string, they go to Tommy DeVito at third string, who, like, he's not a good quarterback. He's not an NFL quarterback. He's a third stringer for a reason. They're keeping him on the roster because he's a well-liked guy. and he's a
yeah.
bit of
Like the
fun.
fans love him, and I think the players like him too.
And then now the Giants. So then, from all reports, or it's actually factual, Danny Dimes went to Dable and the GM, whose name's slipping my mind.
No,
And said, "Release me."
before that, they had him playing safety and scout.
Safety and scout team. So he went to them and said, hey, how about you just do the right thing by me and release me?
Yeah,
They released him. He's cleared waivers. I imagine he'll sign somewhere. Like the Raiders would be looking for him.
yeah, because Minshew's out for the year
Minshew's
now.
broken his
Yeah.
arm. They can't go with Ritter or Hutchinson. Whatever his
You
name
think the
is.
Raiders
Aiden
pick him up?
He'd be their instant starter. Maybe a week to learn the offense and then go in and start. He'd be better than anyone there.
True.
So he'll get picked up by someone. The 49ers could do with him right now
You know
with
what?
Purdy injured
I want the Ravens to take him.
as a backup.
Yep. He's absolutely lightning. He's a very athletic quarterback.
So just as insurance.
Just insurance for Lamar Jackson.
yeah.
Let's just talk about the benching for a minute. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think that it was warranted?
Yes.
Yes.
But they've only if they went to Drew Lock. They're clearly tanking.
Yeah.
And now what they've done is, so a lot of people don't know that Dexter Lawrence is best friends with Daniel Jones.
I didn't know that.
And he came out and was like, well, what are you guys doing? He's our best quarterback.
Yeah.
Not that he's a game breaker or the best player in the league.
But he's the best quarterback.
He's
on
our
the
best
roster.
quarterback on our roster.
Yeah,
Malik Neighbors came out and didn't have a target till after halftime.
Yeah.
And instantly went, oh, it's not. I don't
Ask
decide the
Dable about
targets.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't decide the targets. Ask Dable. He runs the offense.
Yeah.
So it's created a divide in the team.
Yes.
And that's now what you don't. If you're Dable, you have just created.
Yeah.
You're fired. You're done. End of the year or before
Yeah.
the year is over, he will be fired because the locker room don't like him anymore. He's created that divide and he's gone.
Do you think that he's a bad coach though?
No.
I actually think he's quite a good coach.
Yeah.
I just think that he's very limited in what he's working with, talent wise, and I think that the front office has done him no favors, especially with the Saquon move, and then especially like with some of the other contracts and paying Daniel Jones what they paid him. Like they're just not a well run organization.
Which, in hindsight, Daniel Jones was getting $40 million a year. When you look at it now, it's not that much.
Yeah. Someone was going to pay him as well.
It's not that.
Someone's
big a
always going to
contract.
Pay him.
He was a starting quarterback in the NFL.
They'd won a playoff game at that point.
Won a playoff game. Like,
Yeah, but how do you let Saquon walk though?
well, a lot of teams. How did 31 other teams not want to sign him? It was really only the Eagles. It's the same with Derrick Henry. It's the same with Joe Mixon in Houston.
Yeah.
No, it's the same with Brandon Jacobs. Like the Raiders just let him go. Their most productive offensive player. They just let him walk in free agency for nothing. After taking him I think he was in like a top 15 pick in the first round.
You mean Josh Jacobs?
Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
Who did I
said
say?
Brandon
Brandon
Jacobs.
Jacobs. Remember Brandon Jacobs? That
Yes.
big bull of a man. That's what I mean. Like the teams let running backs go to offer. I think this is the first year where the narrative's actually flipped
Yeah.
because
There was 3-star running backs that got let go this year. They're like 26 and 3. I think I saw the stat before
it's
combined.
insane. But it was Joe Mixon. No, sorry, it was Jacobs, Joe Mixon, Henry, and Saquon, and they've lost like 8 combined games.
And
in 4
Aaron
games.
Jones as well.
Aaron Jones. I guess I see it from Green Bay's point of view because they didn't devalue the position. They just let Aaron Jones
Upgraded.
go and got Jacobs, who's
Yep.
8 years younger and is a really good running
He's
back.
better. Yeah.
Yeah, he's just better at this point. And Aaron Jones has gone and done a great job at Minnesota, and
Yeah.
that's great. That's a great signing by them. But again, no one wanted Aaron Jones either. He took months to get signed.
Yeah. Yeah.
No one wanted him. So I think this might be next season.
I just
think
don't
we'll
know
see a real run.
how you can be. You can't be a well-run franchise and you're letting talent like that walk out the door.
Well, there's a flip side of it because you see like the 49ers this year, McCaffrey hasn't been available. He's been injured. Like there are those sorts of narratives that happen too where these running and Saquon, in fairness to the Giants, was okay in his last season there, but the 2 seasons before that he was injured most of the time
correct,
and couldn't
yeah.
play.
Yeah.
So and they were trying to rebuild. Oh, look, they're stupid for not re-signing him, but I would also say the Cowboys are stupid for not signing him. 30 other teams are
Sure,
stupid for not signing
sure.
him.
I don't think they didn't try and sign him. He didn't want to go
No,
back.
he didn't want to be there.
He didn't want to go back.
I don't, and seeing what I've seen in terms of like how the organization's run, I don't blame him.
No,
Just
it's a clusterfuck.
The whole offseason, the hard knocks of the offseason, legit just says no one's going to want to do that. If you make a bad decision, it's
Yeah.
going to be thrown in your face for the next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the owner saying, if he goes to Philly, I'm going to be sick.
I guess what I'm trying to say is I think the issues there in New York, they can't all be just put on Daniel Jones. That's what I'm trying to say.
No,
it's
not
an
at all.
organizational issue.
I think that's the new trend of the NFL, though. Like, I think teams are getting better at not putting everything on the feet of a quarterback when things fail.
Sure.
Some teams are. Like, you can easily take Rodgers at the Jets this year. You can put that all on him if you want. But that's a real poorly run organization.
Yes,
They've
agreed.
fired their coach way too early. Like, what was the point of firing him?
That's
then
poorly
hurt-
run because of him, though.
Yeah, I agree. He's come in and literally done like the Heath Ledger
sorry.
Joker and just blown up the building.
I disagree because it's a poorly run organization to give the keys to the franchise to the fucking to a 40-year-old
They
quarterback.
could have bought him in.
absolutely.
It was what Denver did with Russell Wilson too, with Hackett.
Yeah.
And then Peyton came in and went, nah, that's not how it's going to work.
No.
Look at Denver now. They're
Yes.
flying on all cylinders because they're not giving the keys.
They're gonna be a playoff team with Bo Nix.
Exactly. Then they're not. They've got a good defense, but they're not overly talented on offense. It's not like Sutton's a good player, but they're not banging the doors down with tons of skill positions. And
it's
they're
all
dominant
coaching.
O-line.
It's just
Coaching. Bo
Yeah.
Nix is playing out of his effing mind at the
Like,
moment.
I just think that the NFL really need to get past this idea that the quarterbacks are the prime reason we win or lose. And we can segue this into the Chiefs, who.
But before we do that, I
Yeah.
just want to bring up a stat. Bo
Yeah,
Nix
hit me.
has gone 5 weeks without throwing a pick. You know the last time
Wow.
that happened in Denver was? Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning, yeah.
I've actually got to.
That's a long time ago.
I saved.
That's a
it,
long
grabbed
time
it.
That's
ago.
2013,
Yeah, it's
2014.
10 years ago.
So Bo Nix, so quarterbacks with 20 plus total touchdowns and 2 or fewer turnovers in a 10-game span, which is this season. I think taking the first 2 games out of it. Guys that have done that ever: Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, Tom Brady, and Patrick Mahomes, and Bo Nix.
Wow.
Yeah.
Some
That's
big names.
20 touchdowns and less than 2 turnovers in a 10-game span.
That's a
It's
lot
no
of big names.
wonder they've won.
winning
They've
games.
won
Yeah, well,
5 of their
they're
last
not
7
turning the
games.
ball over, man. If you don't turn the ball over, you win games.
And they
Simple
have a
as that.
great defense who turn the ball over and play good defense. So
Yeah.
he understands, you know what? I'm not going to lose the game here. I'm not going to throw a 3rd and long and throw a pick 6.
Yep.
I'm going to check it down. If the receiver can't make a play and get a first down, that's all good. We'll punt it back. Our
Punt
great
it.
defense will get the ball back.
We'll win it
Yeah.
and
We'll
get it
punt,
back for us.
flip the
Yeah.
field.
I'll get another opportunity here to win this game. if
And
I
a lot
need.
of that is just coaching as well. Like that would be like Peyton's thing. Like
Sean
if it's
Payton's
there,
a great
take it. If it's not, don't.
What
Yeah.
was Drew Brees' MO for years? He was accurate. He's the only quarterback in the history of the NFL to have more than 2 seasons with a 70% completion percentage.
Shit, that's good.
He's the only quarterback ever, and I think he's got like 5 over 70%.
Wow.
So his thing with Drew Brees was be accurate, take it when it's there, understand what you're doing, and don't turn the ball over.
Yeah.
And we'll win football games. And they won a
And
lot
they
of
won a
football
lot of games. Yep.
and that's Bo Nix. I said I ragged on him in the preseason. I still don't think he's a amazing quarterback, but he's doing the right thing on that team right now. He's playing to the team's strengths. The team
Yeah.
loves him, and they're rallying around him, and that's a great thing.
I like it. This is a good building season for them.
It's giving me real. I don't want to say it. It's giving me real Tom Brady vibes for like early in his career,
Yeah.
where he didn't win the games,
Yep.
he didn't lose the games.
No. Just
He legit just managed the
what he
games.
did.
Let's just have our defense
Well,
dominate.
let's stay in division.
yeah.
The Chiefs just squeak by the Panthers in Carolina. That was that Mahomes run at the end was the difference.
And it was a great run. This is why you can't rule it. And this is what my point was on the segue before. Like the Chiefs are 10-2 or 10-1, sorry, without Mahomes playing amazing because the offensive talent around him is not that good. The offensive line's not very good. They've got a good center and a good guard. The tackles are awful. He doesn't have time. But he's winning games by staying in the games, not turning the ball over. He turns it over a bit, but not losing games. And then late in the game, when it's his time, he wins it. And that's what that run was on the weekend.
Yep.
And that's why the Chiefs are 10-1 because they stay in games. They don't let a game get away from them. And then they back. Like when they lost to the Bills, that was Josh Allen being amazing and going, you're not going to win this. I'm not giving.
I'm winning this game.
If they kick a field goal on that drive and go up by 6 points, I fucking guarantee you Mahomes getting that ball back, scoring a touchdown.
I bet you every dollar I have in my bank account.
And everyone knew that, including Josh Allen and McDermott, the coach. They said, we're either losing this game by not scoring.
That's why he called his own number on 4th and 2 and ran it,
100%.
bro. Because he knew
100%.
I have to. I got no choice.
100%. And I think that's the difference. I just want to highlight one thing. Can we give some absolute props to Bryce Young?
We have to. We have to. And I'm going to be the first one to do it.
Mate, he's been unbelievable. I've
Yep.
got to say, he looks like a different dude.
He does.
Yeah.
He looks comfortable. He looks in control. He looks confident. And this is where, like, not throwing your toys out of the cot. This is
Yeah.
what can pay off you. He could have easily thrown the toys out of the cot when he got benched.
Yep.
No, he was a team guy. He stuck behind Dalton and said, I'm going to learn a lot from Andy Dalton
Hang on
the
a
next
minute.
few weeks.
No,
as a
no, no, no,
starter."
no. He fronted the media and said, I deserve
wasn't
to be
good
benched
enough.
because I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
I haven't played well enough and I deserve to be
And
benched.
I'm looking forward to seeing what Andy can do and learning what I can from him.
Yep.
And he's clearly learned something in the last few weeks because his last 3 games, they've gone 2-1 and they're competing. They're losing to the Chiefs on a Mahomes last minute.
Yeah,
play.
they pushed the Chiefs to the edge.
And it's amazing how that team looks different now. It's like
Chiefs have
all
got
of
a
a
good
sudden
defense too, bro.
all of a sudden the defense are playing hard. They're like, oh, well, we've got Bryce Young. He's actually going to make plays for us.
I took the
We can
Chiefs
win
11.5 thinking it would be a get-back game for them.
Nah.
The Carolina Panthers aren't
not
an
an
easy
easy
beat. Not the way they're playing right now.
No.
If they can keep doing it, they're
Hey,
going to be scary in
good
3
for them.
5 years.
I'm really happy for Bryce Young. Like I'm genuinely, no one's picked on him more than
So
us.
do you think
and
in
he's
the
been
last
great.
3 weeks he's cemented his starting role in that team? Do you think that's
He's
his
the
team
starter
going
for the
forward?
rest of the year and rolling into next season.
Into
It
training
is
camp?
going to be a different feeling. It's not going to be a, hey, we're rolling in with a guy that we don't know if he's any good. So we're rolling in. We are confident rolling in. We're not signing an Andy Dalton to be the backup in case the wheels fall off. We're rolling in with Bryce Young, and it might fall off. He might fall apart.
But the mentality is going to
But
be
the
that
mentality's
he's
gonna
our
be
guy.
that he's our guy. He's
Yep.
done so well, and I think Canales has made the offense more suitable to him as well. All of a sudden,
Maybe simplified it a bit.
he's
Who knows?
booting out. He's doing things. He's running with it. He's hitting short passes, and letting his receivers make plays. Like they're all the things that young quarterbacks take time to develop and actually realize. I don't have to have the kill shot every single play. I don't have to win the game right now.
That's all the shit he did in Alabama, though, as well.
Yep.
Yes.
He let the playmakers make plays.
And
So
you
that's
can
what I
do
was
that
going to
here.
say. That's correct, Brock. I agree with you. And 2 steps forward from that, I'm keen to see if they can get some more talent in the building in the off season, because I think he will be the one that benefits the most from it.
Yeah, I think so too. I've gone from being he's going to be like one of the biggest busts ever to no. I think he can turn it around. I think if they can build the right guys around him,
Yep.
keep the offense the way it's going, I think it can be good. As for the Chiefs, though, like I'm not surprised they won that game. It's just that's what Mahomes does.
That's what he does.
You leave a 1-score game to Mahomes with a minute and a half left.
Agreed.
You are gonna lose. It's simple as that.
That's you're signing your own death warrant.
And there's nothing the Panthers could do more other than trying to drain 2 minutes off the clock in the red zone, which is near impossible.
Yeah.
And then score still. Like it's just so hard.
Yeah, but like I said, that run was the difference.
Yeah,
That
and,
little run,
that's
that
what
40-yard
Mahomes
run at
does.
the
He
end,
always
mate.
finds a way. As much as people dislike him, he always finds a way to win.
So we talk about them. So we talk about them boys.
Look, I don't want to talk about the boys as much as I don't want to talk about Washington. Do you know if Washington didn't get that Hail Mary against the Bears,
Yeah.
they're a 500 team? Because
Yeah,
right
yeah,
now,
yeah.
they are looking at my board.
Yeah, they're 6.
They're 7-5. They would be 6 and
6
6.
and 6. Yeah.
We would be talking. They would be out of the playoffs. They're now a 7 seed. They've lost 3 in a row, and then that game to the Bears should have been a loss. I don't know if there's a bigger pretender in the NFL right now than them, because to lose to that Cowboys team is utter, and the way it happened. If you haven't watched the last 5 minutes of that game, the Cowboys couldn't have tried harder to lose. Mike Zimmer couldn't have tried harder
Yeah.
to lose that game.
Yeah.
And you saw Jerry's face at the end when they did the onside kick, and then he recovered it and ran for a touchdown, which got me. Remember my Red Cup betting? Cowboys 3+.
3+.
Got me that.
Yep.
But it shouldn't have been when
Was
Cowboys.
it onside kick? They kicked it deep, didn't they?
No, so they onside. So what happened was it was like 13-9 for the whole game basically.
Oh, yeah.
And then the Cowboys, Cooper Rush, they got a turnover. Cooper Rush hit a great pass to the tight end, scored a touchdown, got up by 2 scores. I'm like, oh, we're home. We're up 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Then Zimmer calls all these defenses to just let Jaden Daniels torch them. They scored a touchdown in about 30 seconds to make it a 1-score game again.
Yeah.
Then they kick it deep. Turpin drops the kickoff, picks it up, spins around a guy, and runs 99 yards for a touchdown. And you can just see Jerry's in the box like, fucking hell, stop making plays. So he scores, makes it a 2-score game again. Then they get the ball back. Washington score again in under a minute.
Yeah.
Drive the whole field and score again in under a minute to make it a 1-score game. Cowboys try and run, which is, I don't know why you do that if you're the Cowboys. You may as well try and win. You're 3-7 at that point. Like, you may as well do something. So they try and they give the ball back with 20 seconds left. Not only does he hit Terry McLaurin on a deep ball in the right sideline, you tell me in a game, a 1-score game with 20 seconds left, how a receiver goes 80 yards and no one fucking touches him.
Yeah.
I'm not saying like he made an amazing play and broke tackle. No one touched him. He was in cover 2.
So it's clear they're
when
tanking.
he knows they're going deep. Like, and I think someone said to me like, "Oh, is that them trying to lose it, or is that incompetent coaching?" And I was like, I don't know what's worse. If they're not trying to lose that game, I think it's almost worse. It's almost better they're trying to lose it than they're that bad at coaching. They don't know how to stop it.
Yeah, they don't know how to lose.
So then they get the touchdown. They're a point down. Go for the extra point. Bad snap. Miss the extra point.
Yeah.
Go for the onside kick. The Cowboys front wall picks it up, runs through, and scores a touchdown.
Yeah.
Scores a kick return for a touchdown on an onside kick. And
So it's
they win by 4.
clear the Cowboys were trying to lose.
I don't know. That's the worst part. I don't know if they were trying to lose or if they're just that bad at coaching that they don't know.
Watching that game, it looked like they were trying to lose that game.
Yeah, there
And
was
it looked
like-
to me like they couldn't even lose properly.
The difference was that the players knew the assignment. You know, like I said to you guys before we started, every time I think, I'm so sick of the Cowboys. How do I support this team? I'm watching that game and I'm like, fuck, I want them to win so bad.
Every time you think you're out,
Yeah.
they pull you back.
It hurts your season, but it's Washington on the road. Washington are the new ballad of ball with Jaden Daniels. The Cowboys defense sucks, but somehow they're just dominating him for 3.5 quarters. And I wanted them to win. I don't care if it fucks our draft position.
What do you think's happened with Daniels?
They've worked him out. He said it in the press conference after. Defense have got scout on him, and they've worked out what he tries to do. They're a very basic offense. It will develop more, and he's going to be a good player. I believe that. He's got a big arm. He runs. He does everything right. But they've worked him out a little bit, defenses. And in fairness to the Cowboys, and in fairness to a guy like Micah Parsons, I wish he'd just shut the fuck up and play football.
Shut up and dribble.
Because the last 3 weeks, he's had 5 sacks in 3 weeks, since he came back from injury.
Yeah, No, it's clear he's a good player. Like, no one said he's not a good player.
A difference maker. Like, I was like, oh, we're a crap defense, and then Parson comes back. Like, I know the Eagles ran over him in the end. That's because the Eagles are a really good team. But for a half, the Eagles were like, shit, how do we stop Parsons and this pass rush killing us? It was like, oh, we just run up their ass. They can't stop us.
Yeah.
Now, Washington don't have that ability, so they couldn't do it. But I'm saying, Washington are pretenders. They're not a good football team. They're Chargers with poorer coaching. They're just not that talented.
Yeah.
They don't have that many good players. Defensively, they're bad.
But having said that, they've got Daniel, so they've hit on their quarterback. So now they can just build
100%.
around him.
They can build, and I think Dan Quinn, when he gets some more talent on defense, they will be a tough defense. They'll be a strong pass rush.
Yep.
They'll harass you. They'll make it hard. They'll generate turnovers.
Dan Quinn's defenses are normally that way.
They also had like Jane Daniels threw 2 interceptions. One was to a D lineman on a screenplay, which that rarely happens.
Yeah.
And they had a fumble late in the game that then the Cowboys scored to actually get that lead. So again, turnovers killed Cooper Rush. Say what you want about him. I don't think he's a good quarterback. He doesn't turn the ball over much.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't take chances, but he doesn't turn it over. So if a game's close, he'll actually give you a chance to win. That's why he's a good backup, because on a really good team, if he has to come in and play for you, you've got a chance, because he won't stuff it up.
Like he did years ago.
He won't stuff it up for you. That's why they won't go to Trey Lance, because he will stuff it up for
Trey
you.
Lance will fucking lose you the game in the first quarter,
Exactly.
bro.
He'll throw
3 picks in the first half, and that's it. It's game over.
Whereas Cooper Rush won't. He'll just be like, oh, we'll keep going.
I just want to take this back to Micah Parsons. And I posted this in our group chat.
Oh, with
the Nick Wright sort of take on...
You say your piece, and then I want to say a piece.
Yeah, because I don't know if you agree with me or you agree with me, but
I agree with it.
Okay,
I don't agree with it. He shouldn't have a podcast, but I agree. I like this better than him.
So if he's going to do a podcast, Nick Wright said, talk about politics, talk about baseball, talk about basketball, talk about anything you like. Just don't talk about football.
Yep.
Because it causes more issues than it solves.
Well, he did top 10 quarterbacks and left Prescott out of it.
Then
and then the next week he did top 10 clutch quarterbacks and had Prescott at 4.
Yeah.
And that's even more offensive to Prescott.
Yes.
Like, just shut up.
Don't talk about football. Just like
yeah, because he's quite personable and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I agree. Or
Pat Bev does a fucking podcast and he doesn't really talk about basketball that much.
Yeah.
They talk about it a little bit, but he's so respectful about how he talks about everyone in the league, past and present.
Yeah.
That they go, it's not a basketball podcast. He talks about his life and stuff like that. He talks about everything going on in the world.
Well, now he's talking about how he's playing over in Europe and that. That's what his podcast is about now, Pat Beverly, that he's playing over there and how it's going and what it's like.
But he doesn't actually bag out players.
No,
that's how like Micah should be doing this.
2 things I want to say.
If you want to be a brand, be the correct brand.
Number one.
Very good point.
I want to talk about number one. Who the fuck is Nick Wright? Okay, what's he done?
Oh, Nick Wright's very popular. Oh, don't get me wrong. I don't agree with a lot of his takes.
I agree with almost nothing.
He's white Stephen A. Smith.
No,
he just throws as many things as a dartboard as he can.
He's the biggest Mahomes
and hopes half hit.
He's the biggest Mahomes glazer I've ever seen in. Like, I know he's a Kansas City fan, but the glazing that he does for fucking Mahomes,
you've got to get over the glazing of Mahomes.
Have you heard Collinsworth?
Oh
yeah, Chris Collinsworth on another level, bro. He's on another level.
He'll be watching another, and Tony Romo's bad too. They'll be watching a game that doesn't have Patrick Mahomes in it, and they'll be like, "Oh, you know who'd be great in this situation?"
Talking about commentators, who does the Monday night games? It's Buck and who else?
And then Troy Aikman.
Troy Aikman. The way Troy Aikman spoke about McCarthy today,
hates him.
No. Showed mad respect. Say what you like about him. He's a good coach. They find a way to win games. It sounded so spiteful the way he said it.
It's untrue.
It's like he's been told, hey, don't bag the Dallas Cowboys coach anymore, man.
I've said this 100 times and I'll say it one more time. McCarthy has been saved by one of the best rosters in football the last 3 years.
Yes.
That's why they won 12 games, including last year where Prescott was an MVP level and CD Lamb had they both had the best season in Dallas Cowboys history as a quarterback and wide receiver.
Which is a big history.
It's a big history. Like Tony Romo was tearing guys up for years and he blew everything out of the water.
He had Michael Irvin for years too.
Yeah. Like, that's what I meant. Des Bryant, like,
Yeah.
CeeDee Lamb blew everyone out of the water last year. And he's been great this year still without being flashy. Like, he's still like 7th in yards this year.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's always having a down year.
He's
He's surviving, mate. Like, give him a go.
Fight for my life
He's
out
just
here.
surviving.
Going back to your original point,
Yeah.
just to put a button on it.
Yeah.
Maybe, hey, Micah,
Put a
mate-
capstone on it.
Can we say put a button on it?
Yeah, we can.
Oh,
Put a capstone on it, please.
Capstone.
put a button.
Just, hey, Micah, why don't you just pack the podcast stuff up in a box, put it in the cupboard, and just try and get a few more sacks before the end of the year? How about
He's
that?
just so good.
That's what I'm saying. Just shut the fuck up and like, just do, because the
He
reality
hurts
is
me because I want to like him, but he annoys me. I'll be
he's an
like, what a great
excellent
game.
footballer, and he's
Yeah.
a terrible podcaster. So just put the podcasting away and just play football.
Do it
man.
when you
Leave
finish.
it to professionals.
You're earning enough. You're gonna
Exactly.
leave it to us.
Because we can't play football.
He is going to get paid the biggest contract in the history of defensive players next year, whether it's by the Cowboys or someone else.
No doubt.
He will get it. So
Yeah.
you don't need a podcast to be rich. Like, I don't get it. And Stroud's a bit the same at the moment. Like, just shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What are
because
you
he's
doing?
not setting the world on fire either.
Oh,
They had a
well-
bad
well-
loss on the weekend.
Well, we can talk about the Bears blowing it. And yes, the Bears blew it. Oh, sorry, they didn't play the Texans. Who did the Texans play? The Texans blew to the Titans.
yeah,
Titans.
it's the Titans.
Again,
Division
games.
game. I get it.
Hey, Will Levis throwing a pick, then going head down, sprinting. He always delivers. He always delivers.
Yeah.
He
he
always
does.
delivers, but often
I've seen the videos. He
on the
delivers.
videos, his
Often
head's
early.
not down.
Often early.
Obviously, these videos are heads up and down. Actually, I've noticed.
I don't blame him for going early, man.
No, but Will Levis actually has played alright the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, he's been alright too.
He's gonna suck everyone into next year. You
yeah,
realise?
yeah.
Like, if we get some talent around him, we're gonna be alright with Will Levis. But no, that said, Texans are in trouble. Texans are 7-5 now. They're going to win the division because the division's not very good. The Colts are struggling. They're just not quite there.
Yeah.
The Titans and the Jaguars are horrendous. They're going to win that division. They're going to be the 4 seed that everyone wants.
Yeah, no
Everyone's
doubt.
going to be hammering for that
Yeah.
5. Like, imagine if we get Ravens at 5 seed going to Texans. They're going to
Oh,
massacre the Houston Texans.
They're going to get the Steelers.
Yeah, well, the Steelers or the Ravens.
No, I've already looked at the Steelers, like the next 5 games they've got.
Yeah,
They're a lot of division games.
They're a lot of division. They play the
Even
Chiefs.
still, the Steelers will blow their doors off, man.
Maybe not as much as the Ravens would, but I think that's what I mean. Like, everyone who's a wild card is going to want the 5 seed to play the Texans.
Yeah.
They're not. They've had a sophomore slump. They're still going to be a playoff team, which is great in a slump to still be
Yeah,
a playoff team.
Sure.
But if
A
they were
lot of
in,
that's because it's a poor division.
if they were in the AFC North, they're in real trouble if they had to play the AFC North. Like, I don't think they're better than the Bengals.
If they're in the NFC,
No, they're not.
they're struggling.
No, the
I
Bengals
would
are.
actually argue quite comfortably the Bengals are a better football team.
They
than the
are a better
Texans.
football team.
They're not
They
as
are.
complete, but they're better. They're like, I'd back them to win a playoff game over the Texans
Yeah,
right now.
I would right now
If
too.
they're in the NFC, they come up with the Vikings or the Packers, most likely in the first week.
If they're in the NFC North, they're the Bears. They're the unfortunate team that have
Yeah.
to play the other 3.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's what they're like. They're just in a good division for them.
Yep.
So yeah, that's what they are. I want to talk Dolphins. Man, if
A healthy
McDaniels,
Tua.
if McDaniel just could have done a little bit better a job in those couple of weeks they had, and maybe just split the 4 games he missed and just
Yeah,
won
but-
2 of them
I know,
somehow.
but how though? Who was their backups, man?
Well,
Snoop
he
Henry
needed-
and someone else.
He
Skylar
needed
Mar-
to do
Skylar
a-
someone.
He needed to do a better job. We discussed this. There was a game where Waddle and Hill had 1 target.
Yeah.
That's not quarterback play. That's a coach going, hey, you need to throw it downfield to Tyreek Hill. Let's take our chances.
Yeah.
Let's
We're
just
losing by
throw
1
it.
score. Let's just keep throwing it downfield. The defense has got a lot better as well for the Dolphins, which has helped. I want to give a shout out to my man Chop Robinson, who I had for defensive rookie of the
Defensive
year,
rookie, yeah.
who was going terribly. He's had 4 sacks in 3 games.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's coming home.
I think since Tua's gone back, everyone's just gotten a big boost.
It's amazing what it does. Now they're in stride. They're 4-7, I think they are on our board, on our big board.
No, 5 and 6.
5 and 6.
5 and 6. They're the 8 seed, but they're behind the Broncos and Chargers.
I'm telling you, they're going to come home with a
do you think
tailwind.
they'll make the playoffs?
They're coming home with a tailwind, and they're gonna get the 7 seed.
Yeah. So who misses out then? Broncos or Chargers?
Broncos miss out.
So I'd be more inclined.
I'm more on Broncos than anyone.
So the Chargers have to play the Falcons next week, which arguably they can win, but the Falcons are pretty up and down. It's in Atlanta too. I can
Yep.
see them losing that.
Sure.
But we'll see. We'll see how it goes, and we'll talk about that later.
Dolphins coming home
but
with
it's
a
just,
tailwind.
I like Tua. I like the way he goes about it. I like the way he treats people. He's clearly a very well-liked guy. I'm glad that he's come back and I'm glad he didn't just hang the boots up and go, I've been knocked out. I'm glad he went, no, I want to play football and I can play.
Yeah.
You know, George, I'm with you. The Dolphins are coming. They got the Packers, Jets, Texans, 49ers, Browns, and then the Jets again.
Yep. A lot of winnable games in there, buddy.
They'll sweep
They'll
the Jets.
Sweep the Jets. They'll probably beat the 49ers.
They could probably beat the Texans the way they're
49ers are done.
playing.
There's
Texans.
speculation Purdy's out for the season.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Like they're finished.
Yeah,
they're finished with.
Have they paid him yet?
No, they're finished with Allen as he can't do anything. He's terrible.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden the team again, it's amazing. Like you said, when Dolphins got Tua back, the energy went up. The 49ers' energy, their energy against the Packers was just an all-time low. I haven't seen that defense. They missed 10 tackles in the first quarter.
That game,
defense. That doesn't happen for them.
I think it was like 2 or 3 series in. I was just watching it, like, intermittently while I was working. 2 or 3 series in, I'm like, this game's over. Like, Packers are going to win this game.
They're
It's just
much better.
It's just by how much.
Who's the Niners backup?
It's Allen. He used to play for the Panthers. I've forgotten his last name.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He's not. He's okay.
They seriously go get Danny Dimes.
Danny Dimes, take your chances. Like
Get-
your season's over if you don't.
I don't hate
It's
it.
actually the smartest decision any team can do is to try and get Danny Dimes. You pay him $400,000 this year.
Well, he's already getting paid like $11 million
No,
from
but
the Giants.
you get Danny Dimes this year.
Yep.
You pay him $400,000. If any team signs him, you get a pick.
Yeah, true. You get a
You get a comps pick.
It's not the Giants are idiots for
It's the
releasing.
smartest move they could do.
If you're gonna be assholes, Giants, just be assholes all the way through and be like, no, we're not releasing you. We're gonna wait to the end of the season and get our compensation.
No,
for it.
but nah, you don't risk him getting injured, and then you have to pay him. You're on the hook
He
for
just bench him,
$25 million next
so
year.
that's why they wanted to
No,
bench
but
him.
you can't get injured at training. Who says he doesn't just run out, like trip on a peanut, and does his ACL?
Chip on a peanut, head first into a fence and fracture his neck.
Does his ACL straight up?
Is he clumsy enough to do that? I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know.
He was running 23 miles one game and fell out of
over.
his own feet.
That's his greatest New York Giants clip.
Hey, fastest run that year.
It was
Fastest quarterback run that
he's
year.
a good athlete. Like I said, I'm glad. I'm
want him.
I'm happy for Danny Dimes because we're a firm believer of fuck the Giants at this podcast.
Oh, are we ever?
And he just escaped. Who was the guy who had all the kids with all the girls locked up? The German best dad in the world. What was his name?
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I know the photo.
Joseph Fritzl.
Fritzl. He just pulled the Fritzl and escaped from the dungeon of
Are
the
you
Giants.
saying Dable is Fritzl?
I'm saying the New York Giants are the Fritzl of the NFL. They're fucking horrible. I hate them.
I don't disagree.
And
with
I've
you,
never
yeah.
been happy that they're shit. So awesome. And then the Cowboys are going to pump them on Thursday. Anyway,
Bears blew it.
Bears
You
blow
blew
it. I've got one take on this. Caleb Williams has got it. I'm telling you, he has got it. 2 scores down. I can't remember who they were playing. Who were they playing? Minnesota. 2 scores down against one of the best teams in the NFC, division game. Caleb Williams somehow gets to overtime just by making plays. He now holds the rookie record for passing yards for the Chicago Bears. He's almost at 3,000 yards. He's a chance to get 4,000 yards this year. I think it's only like 3,600 to break the Bears passing yards record.
Bullshit.
Yeah, he will break it this year. I'm telling you, Bears, you've got a guy.
Yeah,
You have a guy. Fire your coach
I agree.
and start fresh with
It's
Caleb.
not the quarterback. The coach has got to go.
Because whenever the game's on the line for Caleb, he somehow, the last 3 weeks, he somehow found a way to get back into it.
I'd love to see him with a proper coach like Johnson from the Lions or someone like that.
I think they will throw everything at Ben Johnson.
As they
and the
should.
Lions to get him to be like, come and
As they
run
should.
Caleb. And I think if Ben Johnson's honest, he looks at that and goes, you know what? DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Komet, Swift at running back. You got young O-line that has got better as the season's gone on. They're not good, but their tackles are both first year.
They've definitely gotten better.
They've got a rookie tackle and a second year tackle. They're getting better as the year goes on. You can build behind those and you can make something happen. If you're a Ben Johnson, I don't think you're against that move. Or the Texans guy who Bobby Squeak, who everyone likes as well. Get an offensive guy in there, get a college guy, whatever. Just get a guy to come in and help Caleb Williams.
Yep.
I think that's great. Get Cliff Kingsbury if you want. Like, I don't care. Just get an offensive guy to come in and help Caleb because he is when push comes to shove, he is the best rookie quarterback this year. I don't care about Bo Nix. I don't care about Joe Daniels.
Like on talent, you mean?
From what I have seen, the eye test, I think Caleb Williams is the best rookie quarterback this year. I can see how he went number 1.
38-38 is the record for passing yards at
there you go.
Chicago.
Yeah.
He will break that. He will break that. I'm telling you. What's he on now?
Ooh.
He'd probably be on that list already. But anyway, and then as for the Vikings, shout out to Darnold. Overtime. Like, he didn't expect that game to get to overtime. It did. What does he do? He straps on and just gets a game-winning drive.
Yep.
That's an absolute character arc for Sam Darnold because he would, in the past, fall apart in those
Yeah,
moments.
he would.
Now, and Jefferson, they were covering the crap out of Jefferson. So what he just went to everyone else.
Yep.
Jefferson had 20 yards. He's like, oh, that's all right. You cover Jefferson. We're just going to torch
Yeah,
you everywhere else.
So what happened? Addison went off and had a fucking unbelievable game.
That's what I mean. They're very well built. This is not your dad's Vikings. Like, this is a different Vikings. They win games by 1 scores. 3 years ago, they won game 1 scores and let's lost the Giants.
I'm really happy
lost
for
the Giants in
Darnold.
the playoffs.
I'm
I am
really
too.
happy for him.
The biggest thing's going to be next year is what the Vikings do with Darnold and McCarthy.
Caleb Williams is 23.
2,300 yards.
2,300 yards.
So he basically needs 1,500 more yards in, what have we got?
6 games.
6 games.
It's not unrealistic. to break the record.
Yeah, what's that, like 200 something yards a game? Yeah, that's
Like the way he's been playing, like
That's
they're
doable.
gonna be able to do it. Now the problem is they play some good teams, which sucks because they got to play their division, and they play the Lions this week, which is tough.
Yeah,
but
that'll be interesting in the off-season for the Vikings, what
Yeah.
they're going to do
yeah, it will be.
with McCarthy, yeah.
Let's talk Seahawks, their defense. The NFC West just continues to be an absolute roller coaster. It's annoying me because it makes me change the board every week. I have to wipe out all the names and redraw it. Seahawks are now 6-5. They've gone from the 8 seed to the 3 seed
yeah.
in 1 week.
Jeez.
They played a great game again. With defensively, they were amazing. You can see the Mike McDonald coaching starting to show up now and actually happen.
Man.
Yep.
They choked the life out of that team, and out of Arizona. They had nothing.
They got their O-line. Their O-line's healthy. Now all of a sudden, Kenneth Walker looks explosive and can get some runs going. And in fairness to Geno, he is a great quarterback when push comes to shove. When he needs to make plays, he can make plays.
He still turns the ball over too much.
He
I
does. He
like
had
him.
100%. That was going to be my take too.
Yeah, just
Spot on.
turn-
That's
the
what's
ball
going to
over.
stop them from winning a playoff game.
Yep.
But I think they can win the division. I do believe.
Yeah,
that.
I agree. They can.
So because I don't think the Cardinals are that good. I really don't.
That Rams loss today or yesterday,
And the Rams
that
are
hurts
in-
their chances a lot.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like this, like Scotty says, this is the third toughest division in the league. I don't think it's the toughest. It's just the closest.
Closest, yeah.
All it is. They just beat each other.
It's closest only because of mediocrity.
Yeah, exactly. It's legit. Just they're not mediocre. They're all good teams. It's just
Their records would say otherwise.
Here's the divisions
they
that
lose.
are better.
They lose to each other,
That's okay. Okay.
and they win a couple of outside games.
The NFC North is better. The AFC North is better. They're
Yep.
both better.
Sure.
The AFC West is better. Chiefs, Chargers, and Broncos are all better.
Yep.
Agreed.
That's probably it. The NFC East is just ruled by the Eagles, and the Washington aren't that good. The South is very similar to the West, where they're just mediocre. The AFC East,
Yep.
with Tua back, it's not bad, but the Jets and Patriots are awful.
Yep.
And then the West, the AFC West is not very good. The Texans are basically their only good team.
Just a quick take on the AFC
So,
East.
NFC South?
The Pats are going to be better sooner than the Jets.
Yeah.
The Pats are going
absolutely.
to be good sooner than the Jets.
Absolutely.
Do you know that there's speculation that the Jets are going to release Aaron Rodgers in season?
Jeez.
Oh.
What a
They're
clusterfuck.
that sick of him. That, like the owner is now that sick of him that he's just going to be like, just go.
Woody Johnson's just got to go. He's just got to go.
Well, he can't. Do you know, and I didn't know he's the owner of. He owns Johnson and Johnson.
Johnson.
I did not know that
Yeah,
until
yeah.
the
That's
other
where
day,
all their money is.
where
from.
someone said, "Just stick to baby oil, bro." I was like, "Oh,
No. He's actually struggling at the moment since Diddy got locked up.
Diddy was a big client for him, was he?
Like, how the monthly supply
All
going
right,
to
we're
come
not talking
in?
about Diddy on this podcast. Let's move on.
the diddler." Okay, we'll just we'll mute ourselves and we'll let you go.
No.
off.
There's no need to mute. There's no need to mute because I'm gonna ask you guys. I just want to ask you guys one question.
We've muted.
No, unmute me. I want to say my line.
Sorry,
George is just a real chill guy that really enjoys the Eagles, man.
I am a chill guy who enjoys the Eagles. What's wrong with that?
You're just a chill guy.
I am
He's
chill
a real chill guy.
He's a chill
I'd
guy.
say go Birds.
It's like,
Shout
oh,
out.
you
Go Birds. Fly, Eagles, fly.
You
Hey,
sold it.
hey,
you
no, shout out T. Jones for sending me that meme like during this podcast.
We're gonna have to have. We need to have a
Chill guy.
conversation. Like we can talk about the game if you want to, but that was a dominant performance by the Eagles. We rammed it down their throat. They gave. They really. They
Rams.
only. Yeah, the Rams in LA.
Hence why I put the caption as Ram.
Yeah, see where I put Ram in inverted commas. You didn't see that. You didn't understand that.
He's more of a smash guy, not Ram.
I'm more of a smash the like button guy. Bash the button.
Which you should do to our podcast.
Yes,
Really?
smash it.
They scored 3 touchdowns. Really, their only genuine touchdown was that first one. The second one was a Tiki Touchwood fucking pass interference call.
Gotta call
and the third one was a cheap one at the end, which we gave him, which we always do, which still fucking shits me.
Who are you selling this to? We're in. You've got us.
What I want to talk about
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
we need to have when I say we as the NFL community need to have a serious discussion about Saquon winning the MVP. Because at the moment,
George.
at the moment, no,
No, it's actually it's doing the rounds.
Um,
It won't happen though.
the NFL community has the opportunity to do something here, and that is to give him. They should have done it last year with CMC, and they fucked it. This year, they have to. He's on track to break the rushing record and the yards from scrimmage record, and if he does that, they have to give it to him.
I agree. If he breaks the rushing record, which is 2,100 yards,
He's on track to do it.
If he does that, then yeah, I'm.
They have to give.
it.
They have to give it to
Can
him.
I ask you a question though?
Please.
If I said to you right now, trade deadline's over, the Bills are interested in trading Josh Allen for Saquon Barkley. Are you taking it? The Bills are going to give the Eagles Josh Allen and take Saquon Barkley. You're going to get Josh Allen for Saquon.
Yeah, but we've already got Hurts. We don't need a quarterback.
Are you taking it?
No. No.
Cat.
No, I'm not.
You're not going to take Josh Allen over Jalen Hurts.
Because the way our team is set up, our team is set up to run the ball with our O-line.
The Chiefs call you and go, hey, we're going to give you Isaiah Pacheco
Patty Mahomes.
and Patty Mahomes.
No, fuck Mahomes.
For Hurts and Saquon.
I don't want Mahomes and Kelly Green. Fuck him.
Okay, what about... Okay, I'll sweeten the deal. The Bills are going to give you James Cook and Allen for Hurts and...
No, bro. I'm not changing this roster because this roster is good enough to win a Super Bowl as it is. You can't say I'm wrong. That roster is talented enough to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's talented enough. You know what the issue is?
So what?
It's the Philadelphia Eagles.
What happens?
That is a stupid comment. That makes no sense. We've won 7 games in a row. What are you talking about?
Who's your coach?
Hey, to be fair,
coach? No, I've actually not hated Nick Sirianni all the last few weeks.
No one's a bigger Sirianni hater than me.
Kind of won me back.
But the last 6 weeks since he shaved his head, he's been flawless.
Other than when he yelled at the crowd that first one.
Yeah, but that was that game. That was the head shake game.
Okay. So all right,
he's been flawless. That's a stupid comment that we're the Eagles. That's a stupid comment.
You're the Eagles.
We've won 7 games in a row. We're dominating our division and we're dominating our conference.
Who have you beaten in the last 7 games?
It doesn't.
I'm asking you though. Have you played another playoff team in the last 7 games?
I don't know. Check the record. I'm sure we have.
Because you've beaten the Cowboys. You've beaten Washington, who were a playoff team, in fairness. That was basically to take
I'm
the
happy
division.
for you to check the record. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm just saying, when you come to a playoff, let's just say who the team you're... don't get me wrong. I think you're the second best team in the NFC quite comfortably. Don't get me wrong.
That's what I'm saying.
When playoffs come and you've got to go...
How did this turn into an Eagles discussion? I'm talking about Saquon winning the MVP.
No, I'm just talking about... You're talking about Saquon the MVP because he's the most valuable player. What happens when a team shuts down Saquon? And all the cards go on Hurts.
That's an interesting question, but there's no answer to it because no one has yet.
Well, the Cowboys did it for a half with no one.
We're 11 games into a season.
That's what I'm saying. But when you play a good team, right? When you get to the playoffs and you get a Lions, a Vikings,
okay, so
even a Seahawks or someone like that.
We're gonna put if we play the Lions, it's
a Bucks.
We can beat the Bucks. Come on,
Well, you can't.
You haven't.
Yeah, but we can.
They got the wood over you. You would not want
Saquon had
you would not want the Bucks in
84
playoffs, and don't say you will.
No. But when we played them in Tampa. This time we're going to play them in
All
Philly.
right, go through the
in
last
cold.
7 games and tell me who... Sorry, I'll just talk about the Saquon MVP thing. If he breaks the rushing record and the scrimmage yards record, I agree with you. If it was last year. Josh Allen has been unbelievable this year. Sorry, we just lost camera. I'll just do it as well. Lamar Jackson has been unbelievable this year. There are too many quarterbacks that have played so well this season.
I think
Jared
Saquon's
Goff.
having a better year than Lamar.
Yeah,
George.
okay.
He's having a better year than Lamar.
No, you can't believe that.
Dude, he's on track to break the record. I'm saying
How many does he need?
2,000 yards.
2,100 yards, is it?
Something like that.
So
yeah.
he's
2,063 or something.
He's averaging 126 a game at the moment.
Yep. Okay.
Derrick Henry's got 1,325 yards.
Yeah.
So he's got, 70 more yards than Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry's 110
Okay.
at the moment. Derrick Henry has 13 touchdowns. Saquon Barkley has 10 touchdowns.
Yeah.
That's because Hurts keeps stealing them all.
He does.
Keeps
He's stolen like 10 of them. Like 10 of them.
It's 11.
Oh, well, there you go.
11 times Saquon Barkley's been tackled at the 1 yard line. Hurts a score.
They should all be Saquon's touchdowns.
I
bro.
agree. But anyway.
Anyway,
no, I'm not. I don't think it's an outrageous claim. But I'm just saying, as of right now,
This year it won't happen.
if I went through my MVPs right now, it's Josh Allen, Lamar, and then Saquon, and then Derrick Henry. In fairness, I think he's third. Now, if they go on to not lose a game for the rest of the season, they finish 15-2, or let's just say they finish 14-3 because the last game of the season they bench everyone, and who cares?
Which I probably will.
If he's broken a bunch of records and he's had 20 touchdowns, which is likely, and he's broken the rushing record, yeah, I'm with you. If Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson drop off, because Josh Allen has been so good. And again, the Bills have a chance to win 14 or 15 games as well with Josh Allen.
Lamar Jackson's throwing for 3,000 yards. He's leading the league in 3,000 yards. He's leading the league in touchdowns for 27. He's throwing 3 picks this year.
And here's my issue with Saquon's numbers going forward, why I don't think he'll break the rushing record.
Sure.
Because teams are going to come into a game whether they're going to win or lose. That's not the point. Is they're going to come in and go, Saquon's not going to beat us today.
Yep.
We'll lose to AJ Brown,
I'm
Devontae Smith, Jalen
I'm sure
Hurts.
you're right, but I'm
So
sure
I
that a
don't
lot of
think-
teams
I
have
don't
already
think
tried that as well, and they can't. Because you got to remember, like our O line's dominating, man.
But again, you haven't played anyone that can do it yet. Because you guys are good. That's
Who
it. That's
can
it.
though? But who can?
Lions can.
Yeah, but we're not playing the Lions this year. We're playing the Lions in the NFC Championship
Vikings
game.
can. Packers can.
We're not playing the Vikings.
49ers a week ago, I would have said. Seahawks can stop you running the ball. I don't know who you play. Like, probably no one left that you play. But there's going to be teams that just come in and go, we're just going to stop him. Like he only had 50 yards
play
against the Cowboys
Ravens?
because the Cowboys said we're not going to lose to them.
Yeah, Ravens in Baltimore.
Play
We'll
Ravens.
lose that game.
You play Panthers.
We'll win that game.
Yes, I
Play the
agree.
Steelers.
They can stop the run.
In Philly.
It doesn't
It
matter.
doesn't matter where you're playing.
Yeah,
We're
I'm just
talking if
asking
they
the
can
question.
stop Saquon.
I'm just asking the
You play him in
I
Philly.
think it's in
Yeah,
Philly,
we'll win that
You
game.
play
I
Washington.
think you'll win, but we'll say, can the Steelers shut down Saquon for a
Yes,
game?
they can.
Yep. Can Washington shut down them? No, I don't think Washington
No.
can shut down Saquon. They're a bad run defense. They let the Cowboys run for 150 yards
Yeah.
on them. Like,
So
they're embarrassing.
we'll beat the Steelers at home. We'll beat Washington.
Yeah, we're not asking whether you win or lose. I'm asking you if Saquon will have big games in those games.
So I think the Ravens can stop the run. They're a good run defense.
Mm-hmm.
They're not a good passing defense, but they're a
Steelers
good
can
run
stop the run.
defense.
So
Steelers
I
can.
would say that if the and we'll talk about this later. If they want to win that game, they'll do it throwing.
Who?
They're going to make Jalen Hurts win.
They're going to have to make.
Yeah.
Like, the Ravens are going to say Saquon's not going to beat us. We're going to make Jalen Hurts beat us, and that's I think what the issue with the Eagles are. I don't think Hurts is that good.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
That's why it's been good.
He's been good because Saquon's been taking.
He's
over
not having
games.
to do
And,
too
like,
much, and that's why he's not turning the ball over.
His numbers are also incredibly inflated right now because of he just had a 250-yard running game. So
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, but they still count. It all counts. But he had a 60-yard run in junk time of that game. That's
Yeah.
60 of his 250 yards. He got him one run late in the game. My theory with running backs are you take their longest run off and check their average.
We had two. He had two for over 70 that were both touchdowns.
That's what I'm saying. So if you take those off him, everywhere else, and again, you can't take him off him. But I'm saying if teams come in and just go, the Cowboys shut Saquon down for an entire game. Now they lost because in the end the Eagles went, well, let's just start doing these play actions, dumping it off to Dallas Goedert, those sorts of, and they won the game because they were better, right? But there are teams that are going to say, and the Ravens and Steelers are going to be two of them. They're going to go, we're not going to let him, and that's going to stop him getting to that record.
Are you talking about the game just recently in Dallas
He had
against
60
the Cowboys?
He had 60 yards rushing.
Yeah, but we smashed you guys that
That's
day,
what I'm
man.
saying. But they stopped him. So teams are going to go, we'll win. We'll lose from Hurts torching us. We're not
Sure.
going to lose from
Sure.
Saquon. And that's what's going to stop him getting to the numbers that are going to allow him to win an MVP.
So the Ravens can stop the run.
Yep.
The Panthers can't. Steelers can. Commanders can't. Cowboys can't.
Cowboys just did.
Yeah, but they're done. The season's
They
done.
can stop you.
They can stop the
Yeah,
run.
but the season's done.
And
They're
I
not-
think they'd probably do it out of spite.
and the Giants are done.
Well, the Giants can stop the run with Dexter Lawrence.
Yeah. Okay, but they're done. Their season's done.
I'm
Doesn't
not
matter
saying-
if
we're
they're done or not.
We're talking about whether Saquon can win the MVP, right?
Yeah.
I'm saying that the numbers would need to get there for him to do it, and I don't think they can get there.
I agree. The numbers will definitely need to get
Yeah.
there, but I disagree.
You
That I
think he
think they can.
And,
what
and
I'm
we'll
saying.
see how it plays out because he's very dynamic.
If the
Are we
O-line
also
stays
not
healthy,
ruling-
he will.
And if he stays healthy, obviously, which
Yeah,
we're,
obviously.
we're a turn injury off
Injuries
podcast.
off, touch wood.
We're a turn injuries off podcast.
Soft.
So yeah, I don't think you're outrageous in saying it.
Yeah,
And you're a chill guy, so that's
I'm
good.
a chill guy. If he breaks the
I
record,
think
they've
you're
got to give it to him.
outrageous.
If he breaks the rushing record,
Yeah, but you're a Lamar dick rider, and you always have been, and that's okay because you're a Baltimore fan, and that's okay.
So
'Cause
you're
you're
a
a team guy
Saquon
too.
dick rider then.
No, I'm not. I'm just going by the numbers and the eye
I'm
test.
just going by the numbers as well.
if,
then.
you're going by the numbers, Lamar's numbers are unbelievable.
He's having a great year too.
Lamar's probably going to have 40 touchdowns and
I
5
didn't say he's not having a great
Which
year.
I don't think any. I just don't. That's what I'm saying. I don't think any voters are going to be like.
if
give
you
it to
go back,
Saquon
if
at
you go
800
back,
yards.
if you go back through this year, every single time the MVP discussion's been come up, I've said Lamar's got to win it, otherwise it has no meaning.
So why has it changed now? If Lamar's playing,
Because he's going to break the record.
oh, so you're saying if he's going to break the record? I
Yeah.
just don't think he will.
If he
So
breaks
much
the
has
record, you
go
got to give
right.
it to him.
So much has to go right.
That's
for him
what
to do that.
I've been saying that since the start of this conversation. If he breaks the record, you got to give it to him.
Well, let's see how it plays out. As I said, I don't think it's outrageous to think that, but it's going to take a lot to take it from a quarterback this year because quarterbacks have been good.
And
There's a lot of
and-
last year. Yeah, I agree. If McCaffrey broke the record last year, he would have shoo in. But what did McCaffrey do? Down the stretch, ankle got dinged up, missed a
Yeah.
couple of games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Team shut him down, didn't let him beat him. Now 49ers still won,
So-
but they went, we're not going to let him beat us.
So if Saquon Barkley running down the end of the season, last two games of the year, Eagles going to play the playoffs, second, first seed.
Well, probably the two seed. I don't
Why
think
would they be?
Lions-
Why would be giving the ball 25 times a game?
Yeah, I think they'll actually put
That's a sensible comment. I don't know you, bro.
So they're not going to break the
It only
record.
took you a month to fucking come up with a sensible comment, bro.
He
Well
won't, so he
done.
won't break the record.
That's a sensible comment.
And I think that'll slow him down.
Yeah, that is correct. Yes, if we've locked up the 2 seed, there's probably no point. I agree.
Yeah, which they will. Like they're
Saquon's not that guy either. I don't think he cares about records. I think he just wants to win.
He,
Because
he
really-
cared about that ball that he gave away.
Yeah, that was pretty funny actually. But they're 4 games in front of the Seahawks right now, and 2.5 games in front of Washington. They're going to beat the 2 seed.
Yeah, I
Like
think
they're a chance if the Lions lose a couple of games, they can take the 1 seed.
Lions aren't going to lose in the game.
They might not. No.
I'd love to look at the rest.
We'll
of
talk about. We'll come up with them in a little bit. All right, Ravens get back on track in the Harbour, get a good win.
The Harbour.
That was a good win.
It was a good win.
It was very comfortable.
Oh.
Yes, they scored. George.
Comfortable.
No, it was they made it a
Comfortable.
They made it a one-score game with 10 seconds.
Comfortable is not a word I would use.
No, I would say it was a good win.
I would say it was a good win.
The Chargers gave them everything they had. They're just not as talented. I
It
think.
wasn't comfortable. It was a good win.
We were 8 from 15 on 3rd down. We were 3 from 3 on 4th down.
Yeah, no one's saying that's how they won the game.
They had 12 rushing first downs.
You won
Like-
the game.
How many yards did Henry have?
Let me get
They
back
have
to
over 100.
that.
I thought he was. I thought
Derrick
he played.
Henry had 140.
I was going to say. I kind of just kept looking up
Yeah,
and
Henry
seeing
had a
him
great
run
game.
big plays.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was great.
But
I do think
the Ravens needed that.
I do think that with a little bit more talent on that roster,
Yeah.
the Chargers could have easily won that game. Like I said this
How much
pre-show.
more talent though?
Pre-show, I said this, and I'll say it again on the air. You swap Quentin Johnson with a proper number 1 receiver, and I used AJ Brown from
Yep.
the Eagles. You swap Quentin Johnson with AJ Brown, and the Chargers win that game.
Oh,
He had like 5 drops, bro.
it's certainly close. Yeah, he had a horrible game, Quentin Johnson. I felt sorry for him because he's been pretty good.
You
this year.
swap those two. Just that's it. Don't change
and
anything else.
He dropped a touchdown too.
Correct.
So
You swap
Yeah,
those
like I
two
said,
guys.
I wouldn't
they
have
win
said-
that game.
I wouldn't have said that was
Because
an
the
easy
Ravens,
win
the
by
Ravens secondary, and you mentioned it in our group chat watching the game. The Ravens secondary is suspect.
Yeah,
and
they're bad.
They are bad,
They're not great.
and they proper receivers with a proper quarterback can torch them.
Yeah, I think the Chargers have got a great future. They're going to be good. But I think that was a good win by the Ravens. That
I think that's the
Chargers
only
are
chink in their armor.
We-
The
we-
Ravens. They need to button that up before the playoffs.
Oh, 2 slurs and 1 comment.
That's not slow, you dickhead.
That's the only chink in their armor. They got that secondary, like in a playoff game, that can lose them a playoff.
Yeah, I
game.
think so too. Because they're going to put all the
You
pressure's
can't-
going
you
to go.
can't-
on
Yeah, but
Lamar.
no,
Can't back away from that.
no Roquan in that game
Yeah,
means
that
Kyle
hurt.
Hamilton has to come down and play low.
Yeah.
If Roquan's in that game, Kyle Hamilton's playing a deep safety. He's controlling that a lot better.
Yeah, I agree. Don't get me wrong. Like, I think that was a really good win by the Ravens, and they needed it.
Like,
They
I
needed to
didn't-
get back on track.
I didn't
especially
say it
after
was a
Steelers
comfortable win.
No, it wasn't comfortable. That's not the correct word.
No, I don't think it was comfortable. I think the Chargers.
They couldn't move the ball.
No, the Chargers played hard. They just don't. They couldn't run the ball. The Gus Edwards and
JK
JK revenge game didn't go how they thought.
didn't
it
go
would.
near it.
No, it wasn't comfortable.
Revenge coach
It was a-
game.
it was
But
a-
Herbert
it was a
was
good win.
Herbert was very good. If he
Herbert
got
was
a little
good.
bit more help from some receivers, it would have been different.
He
But
was
he
put-
didn't. He didn't, and
He
that's
did.
the reality
He
of
was
it.
But
putting the
they-
ball in the right spots.
Their
though.
defense couldn't
Yes,
stop
I
it as
agree.
well.
And also, if Lamar needed to, I reckon he could have scored when he wanted to as well. But the
Yes.
Chargers defense could not go with what the Ravens were doing at really any point in the game. They could.
The Chargers D has been good.
It's
this year
been good,
too.
yeah. I thought that was a really good. It was a really good win by the Ravens. Let's get to looking at next week. We've got Thanksgiving this week. So there's 3 Thursday night games, Friday our time. I think it's maybe the
Might
worst
be sick
slate of
this week.
Thanksgiving games ever. You've got the Bears at the Lions, which
Oh, that's gonna be a bloodbath.
I think the Lions are going to absolutely massacre them.
Oh yeah.
Although, in fairness to the Bears, they've played the Vikings and the Packers the last 2 weeks and taken it to the absolute wire. But I think the Lions are just a bit of a different beast.
In Detroit,
It's
Yes.
in Detroit. at
that's gonna
Lions.
be a bloodbath.
Who's doing the halftime entertainment?
I have no idea. Is it Eminem?
No, you got to work on these things, mate. I don't know for this. I know for your game.
Oh,
Well, I hope it's. I know for your game.
okay, cool. So you don't know who it is for the.
No, but I hope.
Oh, you are genuinely asking me. I
Yeah.
thought you knew.
No,
Bears
I hope
at
Dolly
Lions.
Parton comes out for the
It's a
Cowboys game.
division game. Do we give the Bears any shot?
Yeah, there's always a shot, but the Lions are so polished. I think they'll beat them.
I give them 0 chance. I actually give them negative chance to win that game.
No chance.
It's negative.
I reckon the line will be like
I'd love to know what the line is. Brock, can you look that up, please, sir?
13.5 points.
I'm looking up the entertainment first.
Okay,
and
that's
then
fair.
the-
You're right. We're on to the important things here.
and then the next game we get
So we've got the Giants
We
at
get-
Cowboys in the Who Gives a Fuck Bowl.
we get DeVito versus Cooper Rush, which is what everyone's been waiting for
Yeah.
this moment of the season. So
that might be the worst game of football this year.
Oh, it's gonna be awful. It's gonna be so incompetent. Fairness, I think the Cowboys will win. I want them to win. Fuck it.
Yeah, probably at home they'll win. Yeah,
But they've been remember they've been bad at home this year. Anyway, either way, who
yeah. Like I said, it's the who gives a fuck
Ooh.
bowl.
First game has good entertainment.
Go on.
Who?
Shabuzi.
Oh, can you get another shot of whiskey?
Pour me up another shot of whiskey.
Shabuzi, you know.
Yeah, I know who he is, but I'm
He's
just
a
I just
black
don't think it's
country and
that good.
western singer. It's
Drink don't
very
need
rare.
no mix.
And what about
What the fuck is this?
And then we've got the Dolphins at Packers.
Which I think is not a bad game.
I think it's going to be a great
I
game.
actually think the Dolphins will beat the Packers at Packers.
In Lambeau?
Yep.
I don't
In
know.
the cold.
Nah, not in
Because
the cold.
Tua said all he wants to do is ruin narratives.
Yeah, okay.
And the Dolphins can't play in the cold. It's a narrative. So
Yeah, but
they'll
also-
lose by 30.
Yeah, nah. It's
No,
a,
I think
it's a thing.
I think that'll be a good game. Yeah, I think that'll be good.
I disagree. I think the Dolphins are going to struggle in the cold.
No, I do think the Packers will win easy. Because the Packers,
I think the Packers are going to win by 2
I
scores.
keep looking at the Packers and thinking, how the fuck are they 8-3? They haven't actually played that well this year.
Yeah, but sometimes that's just how it is.
Yeah, I
You
know,
don't
I
need
know.
to.
But like Jordan Love hasn't been
The Chiefs,
that good, but not bad.
Chiefs are 10-1. They haven't played that well this year.
No, that's true. A lot of games they weren't the best team on the field. They'll still find a way to win.
Nah, I think in the cold, the Packers will get it done by 2 scores.
Lions are minus 10.5.
That's too low.
The Giants Cowboys games.
Cowboys 2.5.
Cowboys are 3.5.
Ooh.
3.5.
And
And Packers would be 3.
Nah.
handicap 3.5. Thanks to our sponsors, Sportsbet.
Yes, thank you, Sportsbet. Who are you taking those games? We're all taking Lions, Giants, Cowboys. I'm taking Cowboys.
I could not give two
Who
fucks.
cares? And I'm taking Dolphins
I'm
on the
taking the
road.
Dolphins too.
Nah, Packers at home.
All right, and the next game we have Chargers at Falcons. This is a big game for both teams because they're coming off a loss. Falcons are coming off a bye. Falcons need a win because the Bucks are coming. They're chasing them down. They're getting healthy.
Pause.
And the Chargers need to get a win because they're just hanging on to that 6th seed now with the Dolphins coming.
Yep.
So they need to keep winning. I think the Chargers are going to be too polished off a loss. They're going to be too physical and overall too good for the Falcons. I think they'll win on the road.
Road game is always hard. Cross country, I don't know, man.
Chargers.
Mm.
Charge. I don't think they lose 2 in a row under Harborough.
It'll be 1 score either way.
Yeah, I think I'm disappointed if the Chargers lose this game.
I think the Chargers should win this game.
Yeah, I don't think the Falcons are that good.
I
They've really
can't pick
fallen
it.
off.
The Falcons are good. They just can't play the potential each week.
Yeah, they're very up.
What
and
their
down,
issue
which is why they'll probably play really well this week.
Yeah.
Like you got to remember the last game the Falcons played, they got drummed by the Denver Broncos, like a 38-point loss.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was a drumming. So
Yep.
I don't think they'll come out that bad. But what the Chargers and the Broncos have in common? They're hard nosed. They play tough defense, and they got quarterbacks that'll throw it downfield.
Yep. Absolutely.
I think that's a recipe.
So
for
it comes down to
disaster for the
coaching,
Falcons.
basically, is what you're saying,
Yeah, and I'm taking Harborough.
Taking it up, bro.
Jimmy.
Yeah. Next game, Cardinals at the Vikings. Again, Cardinals need a win. They need to stay alive.
I think the Vikings are too good.
I don't know. It depends what Cardinals we get because the Vikings have flirted with losses the last couple of weeks to not good teams.
Sure.
So like going to overtime with the Bears and they're up 2 scores. That was bad to let it
Division
go to
game
overtime.
though, man.
Division game. I know. I think so too. I don't think the Cardinals are that good. I think they play hard, but I think the Vikings will be a little bit too polished from when it's all
Yep.
said and done.
Yeah, at home as well.
Yeah.
I'll get it
Who
done.
you got, Brocky?
I don't know about this one. I feel like Cardinal upset coming.
Yeah.
What's the line on that game, please?
Oh, fuck's sake. I've got 2%.
Oh, George.
I got 2% battery.
It'll be Falcons by 5.5.
With the Vikings.
Vikings by 5.5.
No, it won't be that much.
I don't know why. I just think it's Vikings by 5.
49ers at Bills. I think the Niners are done, aren't they?
This is their last chance, and I don't think Purdy's
4.5.
4.5.
Vikings.
I don't think Purdy's going to be back. I think the Bills coming off a bye.
I don't think it matters. Bills are too good.
think
Bills at
they're gonna-
home. That's going to be cold.
I think I
beat 'em.
honestly, the way the Bills are playing, it could be a full strength Niners, and I'm still going to pick the Bills.
Yeah, I think the Bills
In the
are just a
cold.
better football team.
They're just better.
Yeah, I
Josh
agree.
Allen's, like we said before, Josh Allen's killing it, man. Forget it.
Apparently, Matt Milano's back for the Bills as well.
Wow, that's a
Which
big
is
in.
Big
That's a
in at
huge
linebacker,
in.
especially against the Niners. They're going to want to run the ball with McCaffrey.
Yeah, that's huge.
He also covers McCaffrey. He'll be the guy that gets him in coverage a
Yep.
lot. So I think that'll be a good in. Yeah, I'm taking Bills at home comfortably.
Bills.
Especially with no Purdy, no, they're done.
And then we have the big one. It's George v. Brock.
It's not
It's
George v.
Eagles
Brock.
at Ravens. Go.
It's not George v. Brock. I love Brock. I've got no issue with Brock. I love Brock.
I can't wait to sweep the whole podcast.
It's George v. Brock. Did the Ravens play the Cowboys?
Yeah, we kicked the shit out of them. Kick the shit out
I
of
don't even
them.
remember.
Nah, it's going to be a good game. Like I said, I reckon
The Cowboys' schedule has been fucking hard. They've like like every good team.
They don't have a good team.
They actually have. It's been shit.
Don't come first in your division.
And
then
then not. Yeah, that's the key. You want to be a 5 seed every year.
you want to be your Mike Tomlin, be mediocre, winning season, keep your job.
Winning season, keep your job.
Keep your
No,
job.
we don't want McCarthy to keep his job.
Oh, I hope he does.
All right.
If Jerry Jones re-signs McCarthy,
So this is going to sound like a bit of a cliche, but this game will be won or lost at the line of scrimmage. Whoever can control the line of scrimmage is going to win this game.
Yeah, I also think that this game, if it goes to a shootout, that's a disaster for the Eagles.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean.
Because Hurts cannot win in a
That's
shootout
what I mean.
against Lamar.
That's what I mean.
I also
We
think
need to control the line. We need to be able to run the ball to keep the ball out of Lamar's hands.
I'm also interested in seeing the Eagles defense, which has been rejuvenated the last 7 weeks.
Graham's out for the season now
Which
too.
is a big loss. He's been playing
Huge loss.
really
He's
well
been
in his
great the
15th
last
year.
month.
Yeah. But I think the Eagles defense, I want to see, is this defense actually rejuvenated or have they just not played against anyone that can challenge them? And I think the Ravens are going to test that theory pretty quickly with Derrick Henry and then the passing game.
the passing game is elite at the
Because I don't think the Eagles, other than Cooper DeJean and Rodrigo Blankenship, obviously, or Reed Blankenship as they like to call him,
They like to call him that because that's his name.
other than the great white hopes of those two, they're pretty bad.
What was it? The Ku Klux Clamps.
Ku Klux Clamps.
That's an absolute diabolical nickname.
Oh,
for
it's
those two.
outstanding. The exciting whites.
The exciting
as they call
whites.
themselves.
Good t-shirt, that one.
Yeah, it's a great t-shirt. And yeah, so I just think this is going to be good. I'm actually interested to see what this game's like. So I think this is going to tell us a lot about both teams. Can Hurts pass on a pretty bad Ravens pass defense and actually be the passer they're going to need him to be come playoff time?
Sure.
And can the Eagles defense go against a top tier offense and stay alive, generate pressure, cover for long enough? Because I think one guy that can torch you, it's Lamar, and I don't think the Eagles defense is as good as what they've been the last 7 weeks. I want to see if this is like either going to be the Eagles defense, okay, they're pretty good, they've played well, or they're this bit of an even or upper.
I think we'll be okay against the run,
Yes.
but I think the X factor is always going to be Lamar.
Yeah, I think so too.
The X factor is always Lamar.
I don't think just Lamar. Our receivers extend plays and actually make Lamar
Zay Flowers is a
better.
stud. I've been on Zay Flowers
likely
cock
Mark
since
Andrews,
first day of training camp.
Mark
I love it.
Andrews.
Rashad Bateman,
Yeah, Mark Andrews is good.
Mark Andrews has been so much better.
Aguilar revenge game.
Aguilar revenge game.
Yeah,
Yeah, he made a good catch today too.
He did. And then I think Bateman's
Oh,
actually starting to play really well.
Bateman's a gun.
Yeah,
he's a real
turned
good
into a
big
good player.
receiver.
Funnily enough, you get another good receiver around him in Flowers, and it opens up doors for a guy.
Yep.
Like it's when you don't have Odell Beckham's corpse dragging his ankle around out there like last year or the year
Yeah,
before,
he
whatever
was,
it was.
but he was done anyway. He was
So
a
I just
fucking-
think this is a good game. This is the game of the week. I think it's gonna be exciting.
Yeah, agreed.
It's
the game
gonna
of the week.
Ravens need this game badly. Like, who do the Steelers play? Or are they got to buy?
They have a tough week. They have a tough couple runs home. They play all the division.
You said it before, and
They play the Chiefs as well.
Because really, if the Steelers lose this week and the Ravens win, they're back. They're the 2 seed, or they're the 3 seed. Sorry, and back in the lead of the division, and they play the Steelers the next week. So they can actually ramp. They can wrap up the division in the next. 2
Steelers have a
weeks.
bye this week,
I thought they did.
and where the
So if the Ravens win this week and the Steelers have the bye, they'll both be 9-4. How does that work? And then they'll play each other. So it's they've kept themselves alive. I'm just excited for this game. I'm going to take.
No, Baltimore.
I'm taking Ravens because it's at
Baltimore
home.
at home.
I think
sure.
it's going to be a good game though. I'm looking forward.
I think
It's
I think
Monday
it-
night too.
I think it's a coin flip.
Sunday night.
Game.
Sunday
I think
night
it's a
game.
coin flip game, and the home field will be the telling.
I'm just interested to see how both teams go against good competition. Bring it
Well, the thing
they
is,
play the Bengals, or no? They play the Bengals on the 2nd of December. Then they got the Browns, Eagles, then Ravens.
on. Well, we know they can't beat the Browns. That's
They'll split with the Browns.
split with the Browns.
and I think the Bengals will beat them.
Bengals should beat them.
Yeah.
Eagles should beat them. And then it comes back to the Ravens, and they got Chiefs and Bengals again.
Oh,
That's
Steelers
such a tough run home.
It is a
Steelers
tough
are
run
actually
home, yeah.
in big
That's
trouble,
what
yeah.
I've been saying. They haven't played anyone in division.
Yeah,
That's where it's going to even up these games.
Where the Ravens have played what
Four
four division
Four
games.
division games. Beat the Chiefs. No, beat
They've
the
swept the Bengals.
swept the Bengals.
They've got
Lost to the Browns. Lost to Steelers. So 2-2.
2-2. Yeah, so they've got 2 more games. They've got Steelers and Browns.
Yep.
And I think they'll beat the Steelers next.
And a quick note on the Eagles. This is a real what you said before is right. It's a real litmus test for our team.
Yeah.
Because now we're at the stage where we're starting to develop like Super Bowl aspirations or NFC Championship game aspirations. So Now, what you said before is right. Now we're testing ourselves against a really good team.
You know what this reminds me of? Remember when the 49ers, who were just beating up on crap teams last year, went and played the Ravens, and the Ravens just kicked the living shit out of them?
Boxing Day, yep.
That's the feeling I've got for it. I don't know if that will happen, but it's that sort of game. It's like, are the Eagles, they're either there or they're not. And that was last year when everyone kind of went, are the 49ers that good? Are they going to win a Super Bowl? No, they made it there. But
They made a Super Bowl, to be fair.
And, you know, if they
And also, to be fair, like,
field goal in overtime,
Lamar's
might
record
have
against the
been
NFC is crazy.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Because there's no one, there's no one in the NFL like Lamar, but there's no one even close in the NFC. Like, we don't, like, no one sees him.
Yeah, there is.
Who?
Jaden Daniels.
Danny
Daniel
Dimes,
Jones,
baby.
Danny Dimes. They're just going to play him like they play Danny Dimes, and they'll be fine because Danny Dimes can run. He just can't throw a ball over the
I think it'll
O-line.
be a very interesting game, like coaching wise. I think obviously Hubble's a much better coach than Sirianni.
No. Sirianni's
shocked.
the best. I love Nick.
Where's the gun to your head?
You're crazy.
You love Nick Sirianni. Ever since he shaved his head like you, you've been a big fan.
Shout out.
Those
You've
to my bald brother.
been a big fan.
Those bald heads really stay together, don't they?
They do. They back
Shout
together.
out.
I'll be there very soon.
As you should.
All right. Let's get the hell out of here. Brock, get us out of here.
Red Cup betting either Saturday or Sunday. We haven't actually confirmed a time. A lot of moving parts this week. Shout out to Tommy Kinlock, 400 games this week. If you're not doing anything, come to Croydon Rangers.
Yeah, shout out to
3
Tommy.
o'clock, Ranger Field.
Well worth a shout out.
Couldn't
Big
be a better
game.
bloke than Tommy Kinlock. An absolute
It's-
legend.
Yep.
Doyle saying it's his last game, but we call cap on that.
Cap.
That dude will never stop.
It never stopped. Like his hairline. And shout out.
Amen.
Thank you
brother.
all for joining in. Happy punting. Happy football. Love you, boys.
Peace out.